Welcome to a DropTent Media production.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Permiano.
And I'm Dan DeBriel, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news. Hey.
Oh,
hey.
that was a
All
smooth
right.
transition.
That was great.
We are live now.
It's like Neil never left. Hi, everybody. The weekend comics are here. The weekday comics are here.
Jesus Christ.
I'm already
Episode
high.
29.
I'm learning on the name of our podcast, and I'm super duper high. We have Jesse Pedraza as our producer. Hi,
Hey, what up, everyone?
That's
I'm not
enough
on
for
camera.
Neil is gone. It's already thrown me off. How are you doing today, Dave?
I'm well. No, I'm not. I'm whatever. Yeah, I'm my usual. I have no improvements or declines. Just
You have recovered from your Iron Comic loss. We did tease to our audience that we were going to talk about it at this episode, but we decided independently and tyrannically that we are not even going to address it this episode.
You have to wait till the live episode.
The live episode we are shooting on Saturday
Yeah.
at the Tuned Up Brewery, which you will be able to see, I think, in about 3 or 4 weeks.
The
It definitely
29th
won't be
of,
live.
whatever month.
Yeah, we set the date.
What's the
but
month after the month?
I don't even
we're
remember
in?
what the title of this
Yes.
podcast is, so I definitely don't remember what date we decided to air our live podcast, but we are taping it this Saturday, where we'll talk about Dave's brutal Iron Comic loss with a woman responsible.
My Sue comic will be there, so I will pin it all on her.
Yeah,
And
basically,
actually, she wrote the best fucking joke of the night. But
I believe
yeah,
it. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
when it comes, when we cross that bridge, but we got a great guest here.
We do, yeah.
Would you like to introduce her?
No,
Dave?
no,
Okay.
yeah, I can,
Yeah.
yeah. No, we have the very funny comic Sarah Craig.
Thank you.
I've only seen you like 3 times, but I was sold. That's how fucking hard you crushed it the last one. And I just messaged Dan during your set. I'm like, yeah, we got to get her on
Yeah.
because and that was like a bad audience night too. Like only like 98% of my set worked that night, which is well under my average.
Terrible.
And then she
Yeah.
just came off and blew the fucking doors off the place.
No audience is bad while I'm there.
That's
No.
right.
True. Yeah,
Yeah.
you fucking tell
Well,
them.
No,
I
that
don't
was,
know.
it's been downhill since
Yeah, I was
that
gonna say
night, to
I don't
be
know about that,
honest.
Sarah, because we officially met at a show on Saturday when you had a amazing set and the comics in the back were dying. You delivered it perfectly. You were like super dark and super edgy, and they really didn't like it very much.
No one did. I didn't like it. It was like the end of Oppenheimer. It blew. It blew
Hey,
so bad.
spoilers.
Japanese spoilers.
Everyone was Japanese.
Everyone
and
was
they all died.
Japanese, and they didn't like it. They weren't a fan. I could just see disappointed white women in the audience, which resembled my high school years. And I was PMSing. It wasn't good. I came off stage. I was a little emotional.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a good night for me.
It was a good night for me though,
me,
and for the other comics to watch you go through that though.
Right.
We like
I
Loki.
need to be
We all
taken
like
down
it.
a couple pegs.
Yeah, we all like it kind of when comics, because like I've seen you multiple times and I know you're very funny, and we have mutual friends who, whenever I ask them who is the newer comics that are great, you are always who they name. Like you're one of the names that they give. But I got to see you have a bad night, and I could tell it was a bad night. Like I knew your jokes were good. We were laughing, but the audience just wasn't connecting, and we love that. Don't we love watching a good comic
Only
do
if it's,
badly?
I don't
No,
like a straight
I
up
don't.
bombing. I like visible discomfort from the crowd. Like,
Well, there was that too. There's
yeah,
that.
okay. So
Yeah,
it wasn't
you
just
got
boredom
that.
on their part. It
No.
was them like, is this person
The
going to kill me?
conceit of the show, it was called Fenris's Filthiest.
Yes,
Fenris, he'll be on the show at some point. And we were supposed to come and bring our filthiest, dirtiest jokes. I was just performing because I won. I came in 3rd place last year. But when you compete, you're supposed to compete with your dirtiest shit.
Keep holding
But
over my head.
nobody. Oh, that's right. I beat you. I totally forgot about that last
Hey,
year. You were yet another.
I was just trying to get some new jokes on tape, which was ruined by some vampire bitches sitting nearby. No, they were literally vampire bitches. They had their their bleached white skin and their teeth sharpened. I don't even think that was like the plastic thing that you could get at a Halloween store. I think they
they're real
like
sharp
literally fucking like took a file to their teeth or some shit.
That's funny. You're not exaggerating. This bar is a Satanist bar. We've brought it up before.
Yeah.
There are probably vampire bitches
And they're like in their 30s.
There
I
was a
thought the
woman-
vampire
woman
bitch.
wearing a wind chime necklace at
Ooh.
Bar
Nice.
13 the
Oh,
other night.
wow,
There's
there
a
you
lot.
go.
You see everyone there. I saw furry.
Okay.
I wonder where the furries were. I was gonna.
See, yeah, the furries. Are the furries good audiences?
No, yeah, especially with. No, I don't
Are
think
they
so.
are they there for the comedy? Or like, I wonder what that person would look like in a Garfield
they
costume.
can't relate. They can't relate. If it was a wolf
I think about
on
that all the
stage,
time.
If it was a wolf on stage doing his 5,
Right.
then they would have related. But they
They'd
don't
be
relate
howling.
to people.
Yeah, what if you just how? Damn, what if you made the animal noises?
Well, I guess you're muted in the suit. That's why they're bad audience members, because the laughter doesn't carry out of the,
Are
out of
they
the big
just-
fursuit.
Is that actually their fetish, or are they just looking for the most legal bestiality? Like, if left to the own devices, would they fuck actual animals instead of people in animal costumes?
You're putting me in a weird position where you're asking me
'Cause you
something
know?
I know about, but it's something I'm not into, but I have
But you don't wanna
looked
throw-
into.
you don't
You
wanna
have a
throw
lot
any
of
of your-
knowledge that would seem.
I have asked these questions before academically, Dave, and I'll tell you that it runs the gamut. Some of them it's purely sexual, some of them it's purely asexual, and they just want to be an animal. Some of them want to be a cartoon animal, not an actual animal, and some would never want to fuck a real animal. They just want to fuck a like bulbous My Little Pony style.
Oh, I thought furry
cartoon
was
thing.
just a sexual thing. I thought
No,
it's just
it's
the
like
dressing
there are
up.
people that are like lifestyles. Then there's like LGBT furry communities. Like there's as many furry communities as there are any other identity communities. But then they're just furries.
I really
but then
want to
of
go to
course there's
Fur
more people.
Fest. Do you know Fur Fest?
I would love to go to Fur
I would love.
Fest.
I just want to go and make up and be some animal no one
Right.
wants to be, like a
You would have to
dinosaur.
go. That's the thing. You wouldn't be able to just go and observe like you were a reporter. You'd have to dress up. They would know you were like an outsider
No, I
judging
would dress
them.
up.
You
Of
have
course,
to-
I would dress up.
Yeah.
Of course.
I-
I
That
would.
sounds like a good place to get static electricity shocked, and I am not about that.
I worked on a show once, and we had to go shoot a at a Comic-Con. It was a Blizzard, technically a Blizzard video game convention, but everyone dressed up in like it was Comic-Con. And I saw there a guy getting escorted out by like 10 medics because he had dressed up in like this really huge foam like orc costume.
Okay.
But he had to take the head off because he was like built like me. He was a chubby boy, and it was Southern California, and he'd been walking around in this like 150-pound full foam costume. And when I saw him, he was having heat exhaustion, and he was just like a tiny little nerd head in this giant orc body, and like people were like fanning him, like, we're gonna have to cut the suit. He was like, no, don't cut the suit. It was like sad and hilarious at the same time.
I love saying, don't take it off. You can't reveal. No.
yeah,
no.
yeah, the
real
moobs
me.
that would come out. Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad. I know there's.
I don't know if that's said. Or is that it? Wait, you said they had.
It's sad that they.
They was
that
built
they
like
need
me.
to do
Yeah, he was
that
built
to
like
be
me.
happy.
He's built like me now.
Yeah,
He wasn't built like me then, so of course I judged him.
Wait, so
a lot less
is this
judgment
a
now.
protected group now? Can I not say it's
No.
okay? Okay.
No, I was
If you
thin
tr-
when I saw this, so I laughed internally at this sad fat bastard. Now I am the sad fat bastard, so I was marginal more sympathy, but
My,
But you don't have a full Snoopy costume. in
no orc costume just yet.
My friend in college and I, one time we took a deep dive on the internet of like different fetishes on Reddit and stuff. Of course, you have to do that once in a while, just to know what's out there.
Sure,
And,
once a day or so.
Once, every day, 4 o'clock. It's my fetish hour, and I just check up on
Fetish
on
hour. Write that
modern-
down.
Yeah, there
As
you
a
go.
potential title.
Great. Just a potential new name
Write
for the
that,
podcast.
Jamie. Write that down. So
Oh, by the way, Sarah thinks she's on Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience. I've been trying to explain to her that she's not, but you're
just
gonna
let
hear.
me believe. Just let me believe. But
We are
there,
bald, muscly hosts. So,
there was one that I found, and it was fascinating just on the detail of this one fetish. I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's these people out there, and they like getting put under the floorboards. It's like a claustrophobia fetish,
Okay.
but there was
yeah.
a video where this guy, he cuts out a big hole in his floor, although the wooden flooring of the panel, and then he sticks his wife or his woman, and she's wearing lingerie, and then she gets put on this chain, and then in this big thing, this contraption, and lowered into the floorboard by like a conveyor belt.
Man.
Conveyor.
Dave's grandma was kind of into that, but in a bit of a different way.
The fucking telltale glory hole. What the hell?
And then they put the floorboards on top of her, and then cover her in the carpet, and then put a couch on it, and then the guy just sits on the couch and reads the paper.
And then he just does
and then
his.
just does his
So
stuff.
is this like a murder? Like
No, it's just she's under the floor, but I don't get it. This is why it's so fascinating.
I like it.
so
can't
he's
see
reading
her.
the newspaper.
I like it. Does it matter to her what he's doing? Could he be playing like a Switch, or would that like ruin the
I know how I'm
experience?
preparing my news stories for next week, though. When I'm scrolling for headlines, I want to be sitting on a
Wow, the woman
couch with a woman under the floor, which is just
the woman that agreed to go to Barbie with you is in for a lot more than she bargained for.
No, she signed something.
She's committed. You have her for the night.
My thing about Barbie is like it just makes me think like, do women not want rights anymore? Because it's a movie about dolls. That's the best we can do.
I never believed they did in the first place.
I know. Sometimes I think, do
You had it good.
they want that responsibility?
You didn't have to find a man. You just got traded for a goat. You had
I mean, if they want to get put under the floorboards with a couch
I think
on
you're
top
already
of
missing the point of Barbie.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah.
I'll have a whole new outlook on life next episode after Barbie cures me of my misogyny.
I get it. I see. I
You're
see what's
gonna get
happening
the
now.
female
Yeah.
experience after you
Right.
see
Right.
it.
Right.
I already hate it.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody who's.
I mean, I'm not a direct. I'm not on the
didn't make it.
production team.
No
I don't
offense.
care.
I know Greta Gerwig's gonna be watching this.
Yes. She is a fan of the show, so she might
I
miss
saw
this
her in
episode,
New York. I walked past her.
though. Oh, cool.
She was smiling because, of course, she'd be smiling. She's got Margot Robbie in her
Yeah.
movie.
Wonder
about
what
a
she
doll.
looks like under a floorboard.
She'd be hot under a floorboard and a carpet while I'm playing Nintendo Switch.
Is there a rolled up? Okay, so the carpet. Okay,
The carpet's part of it. You
Is
got to
that
put the
getting you
carpet.
going?
in.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Does that do anything for anybody?
It's open. It's like you've
mean,
unlocked something. I think.
the part where you have to legally let her out afterward kind of is a turn off to me. But yeah,
You are telltale hard again.
Telltale. Maybe it's from that. Maybe that's where they get
Yeah,
it
they-
from.
Right.
This pose fetish.
Yeah.
there's probably a fetish for every poem out there, right?
Yeah,
I can name
imagine.
2 off the top of my head, so I don't. Oh, there's one about a cat too. I know 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to fuck a lot of animals if you're into Poe.
yeah, a raven,
and in a lot of graveyards.
a raven, a black cat,
Yeah.
and a heart.
Yeah. And in a morgue, I suppose.
Exactly.
Birds might be the least sexy animal.
It depends on the bird, I
yeah,
think.
there's-
Really, but yeah.
Too many birds are called majestic, and majestic is just a prudish word for sexy.
All depends on the bird. Like a penguin's a pretty shapely bird.
Oh yeah,
Penguin-
they're kind of thick.
Yeah,
The way they walk.
Yeah, exactly.
They waddle.
Yeah,
They
waddle
yeah,
like
they
a
do.
thick-
Waddles
thick
is well, no, waddle's not a sexy form of walking because
That's true.
It's 2 in the feet,
And
right?
even like rappers that love thick bitches, they don't say like waddle to me. Like waddle's not really something.
if
anyone asks
you're
anyone to do.
waddling, that thick gets a K at the end of it automatically.
Oh, there's got to be.
Yeah, if you're into waddling, that is a fetish. Yeah,
Waddling
you've-
fetish.
You're no longer like thick girls. That's a fetish.
I like
unless-
the
yeah,
way
you-
she waddles.
It's like having their legs tied together. Okay, so there's like a little bit of like that's kind of the waddle walk too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's struggling, that's hot for some people.
Yeah.
The struggle.
She has a problem with her gait. Yeah, with the
gait,
way
yeah.
that she walks. That's hot.
I want to hear a rap song with all these lyrics. Her gait,
I agree.
Yeah.
waddle. I don't know.
Oh, we have to-
Yeah, gating is it? Gait is just your step, right?
yeah,
We're
gait
good.
is just your step. It's just your pace.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
You know we're off topic when you're trying to talk about stand-up.
Well, no, yeah,
I didn't know where to go from there. I was like, should I?
something about sexy birds, which there are.
Yeah.
But penguins
Owls-
are not.
You disagree on penguins, and that's fine, but you're wrong.
Owls are
but they're
beautiful. I
still-
don't know if they're sexy.
Owls are very beautiful.
They're
and
beautiful.
striking.
I
Yeah.
gotta say, Big Bird. Come on now.
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah.
But that's one specific bird. I mean,
I
like,
mean, he's
that's
called
not...
Big Bird.
You got to
so-
be domesticated if you like as a penguin. Like as the dude, I have to fucking tend to the children.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
true.
male penguins are the ones that sit on the eggs.
That's true. Yeah, you're not sitting on any eggs. You're
So
not a very
penguin
nurturing
sex is
father.
out of the cards for
I got
me.
it. It's more just you're just not ready to
Sorry
be a
about
father.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I am, but like I would have like. Sliding down hills is cool and shit, but I got to
Like
watch
that's
the
fun.
woman enjoying herself while I'm tending to the eggs. No, thank you. No, ma'am.
So I've been doing comedy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know. I've been doing it about a year.
Okay.
On and off. I mean, I took a month break after I wanted to kill myself for a little while. No, not actually, but I
That's
had
when
a
it gets
bad night.
good.
Yeah,
I know
that's
it.
when
I
you
know
write
I
the good
should have
jokes.
kept going. I would have gotten the good jokes out of that. Some guy came up to me after a show and said, you're not funny, but you're interesting, and I'll write your jokes for you. I used my
yikes.
card, and it just made me feel so bad. It was just a bad night anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
nobody that's ever offered to do that has any good jokes.
No, he
So-
did. He actually
Yeah.
was a joke writer for this kid at Bar 13. I don't want to
Okay.
say any names here.
Yeah,
But,
you can.
but-
I mean, it's
Yeah.
live, so it'll always be forever enshrined on the internet. But we
No.
encourage snitching and hot goss. So,
And I started actually two years ago. I did one show and then was so embarrassed, and it took me another year to get back into it. But it took my mother's death to get me really back into comedy because I
yeah.
found her funeral funny.
hell yeah.
So there was so much.
Wait, was the eulogy where you got big laughs, or
No, I didn't actually.
and we all can
I-
joke about this because we're all part of the Dead Parent Club.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
we all
High-
have dead parents
high
here. Yeah.
fives all around. I mean,
Yeah.
really, like, there's so much good. People don't like it when you talk about it. I mean, I had some good jokes about it, but I still don't know how to do them on stage because people get all. It's especially the people who have two living parents who get all, clutching my.
Yeah.
I could never imagine. You're gonna have to.
So
you're gonna
there's-
have to.
There's one way for you to not have to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I have the same thing. I have a joke about my dead dad, and I have to sometimes yell at the audience at the end. I'm like, "It's my dad. It's okay. Like
Yeah.
if I'm joking about it, it's okay. The only person that's gonna care is me." So like,
know.
I
it's-
did
it's
for
like,
a
why do you
while think
care?
that my dead dad gave me, like, it allowed me to joke about everybody's dead dad. Like,
No.
I had full dead dad immunity.
Yeah.
And boy, did I have to talk myself out of some out of some punchings
Yeah.
to find out that that's not the rule.
Yeah, the Dead Dads Club's not that
Yeah.
strong. The solidarity isn't that tight.
Yeah. I think when something like that happens, then you think, I don't know, you kind of gotta do whatever you want to do because I have a big fear of death. I'm really afraid of like death and dying. I'm really hypochondriac, so I think like tomorrow it could happen. So I just had to just do stand up and whatever.
Well, don't sell that short. It could.
Yeah, still could.
Yeah, you're in a basement with us.
I know.
No, do you believe in? Are you dead and done or afterlife?
I don't
bullshit?
know. That's why I don't know. I
Okay.
don't believe in anything, but I don't know if it's
Sure.
nothing. I don't know if it's even nothing or anything. They both scare me because anything seems terrible and nothing seems terrible.
Yeah.
I just can't conceptualize any.
I get panic attacks thinking about eternity.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, oh wow, I could do everything, and then I would develop a drinking problem of some sort. I would assume, right? Or,
If you had eternity to spend,
yeah.
you would develop a drinking problem. Sure.
I mean, well, how else would
It's
you pass the
you
time?
I'd
don't
drink
have
every day
eternity,
if
and
I-
you have something of a drinking problem.
Hey.
You've managed to accomplish this with mortality weighing on you.
Well, that's
It
why,
helps
too. Yeah,
Yeah, it
'Cause I
actually
don't
really
know.
helps. Yeah.
I'm like 99% sure, but yeah.
Yeah, but hey, back to my mom's funeral.
Oh, right on.
But
Yes, please.
no, I had a good joke about it, but I still don't know how to do. I actually started comedy, kind of trying to talk about it because there's just a bunch of elements of it that were funny. But I'm more of I started as a story writer. That's kind of how I got into comedy. I write scripts and stories and all that, and so things work as a story, but on stage it's so different. And as in a story, I can do what I want and whatever. If I think it's funny, here you go. But on stage, you don't know how. Like I had a joke about how they played Bruno Mars at my mom's funeral, and about how it was a TikTok trend after to the
funeral
song.
TikTok trend.
To the song. It was there'd be preteen girls dancing to the song they rolled my mom out of the funeral hall
Okay.
to. So I had it, but everyone would always pull back. So then I try to find a way to get into it, but there's just no right way to say it. Like I tried so many different things. I still don't know what to do. Like, oh, there's so many adjectives to describe people you love. Like my mom, one word you could use to describe her is pretty dead. Like you don't know. But then people, I don't know. There's no right way to do some jokes, especially the other night. I have a dark sense of humor, but it's just hard to know. People can't. I don't know if it's a thing about me or
no.
It's them.
Filthiest was literally on the brochure. It was on the flyer of the show. You knew going in that this was a filthy show. So this is one of those situations. It's very in vogue for I would just say younger comics, but I think more with younger comics to say there are no bad audiences, and they say that as a way to like kick their own ass to be like, don't just be one of these delusional comics who eat shit all the time and blames other people. But you learn there are bad audiences. There are just groups of people who fucking suck. And listen, I thought I did okay in front of that crowd. I didn't think it was my best set, but I didn't think I bombed. I still didn't like them because I watched you and Luke Kincaid, who was a guest on the show a few weeks ago. It was great. He had a great set. And a few people, you guys went and you were dirty. You followed the assignment, right? You gave the exact set that the producer asked you to give and the audience should have expected. And then they were like, meh, I want jokes about puppies. It's like, well, you're at a Satanist bar at 10:30 at night. Like, what do you think you're going to get? No, it was them that night for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I just would love to master the skill of, and I guess I'm newer or whatever, but to just have people laugh. Like, even the most liberal, like, actually can't say that. That person, I love that person to laugh. Because I think I'm good on that one-on-one. It's like, hey, I'm good at making people laugh if I can just get them one-on-one. But I don't know.
They don't at least yell Yas Queen or what? Do you? Your comedy even puts those people off?
Yeah. And the thing, I think that my badge of womanhood lets me get away with more than men, which I like to make fun of women because it's funny to me.
Yeah, obviously.
Because I'm a woman, so why wouldn't I?
Of course.
It's just easy and
I
fun.
did want to ask you because I've only seen you at like Bar 13 and Tap Room. I didn't know because like you do like a pretty dude-oriented set. I didn't know if you do that set because it's an audience of dudes, or is that your preferred audience, or like you switch it up if it's a more diverse crowd?
No, I kind of always have jokes that I like, and maybe it's more dude oriented. I don't know.
So, I don't want to say it for you. Say what you opened up with. Your very first line. It was in the tap room. It was a dude. It was a room full of dudes. Your very first line.
My very first line.
When you got.
I don't relate to. Is
or something like. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
It might be. I don't relate to a lot of women because I'm not afraid of getting raped.
Yeah,
that's gonna go well in the tap room for sure.
And
that's when Dave started sending
like,
the text. He was like, Dan, we need to get Sarah.
Like, shit. Should I wait 2 days after that set to ask her to be?
I know. I did that.
Asked you immediately.
I did that joke at JJ Mallon's. It was after I was at Comedy John, so I'd had a couple drinks at Comedy John. Didn't even want to go up at JJ's. But, Joe, G, and everyone was saying, come on, you got to go up. So I did my rape, I'm not afraid of getting raped, and I was tipsy, so I was like, tonight's the night to do it. Everybody, meet me outside. I'm not afraid. And I really went just far. And they liked it. I think it definitely is my fault if they don't.
Don't build on that one too much.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Here's my address.
I definitely clarify. I like jokes where I say something really messed up and then I clarify. I just always like that humor. Like I like Louis, and because he always starts with saying
Bill
something
Burr does the same
batshit crazy, and then getting people to understand and whatever, going into blah blah blah, and the reasons I'm not afraid of getting raped. Not that I want to, but blah blah, and then I get the sense that people just don't like hearing that topic, and I don't know what kind of crowds are.
Did you do that at the Filthiest show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Of course. But there were a lot of women in the audience.
There was and there was like a bit of a there were people there that were all together as a group, and that group had a very specific sort of mindset. It happened to be they voted for the
comedy. I like John Mulaney.
Right, and then they happened to vote for the cleanest comic on the bill, the one who was very.
She was a woman. A woman won.
She was.
A
woman
won the last one too.
Yeah.
I'm starting. I think the fix is in.
Yeah. Right. Agreed.
I demand equality.
But yeah, no, it was. So I feel like I mean, she was very funny and she had a great set. The woman who won, but I felt like she was the cleanest comic, and because a lot of the audience was there to see her, they wanted her style of comedy, not. I don't remember how deep into it I went, but I chided the audience at one point from my set because I did my joke, the one about your uncle, the only movie that gets you into therapy is your uncle's movie. And one was about it's an implied molestation joke. I make the audience connect the last dot that I was raped on video, and rather than directly say it, and the audience usually hates me for it. But dark audiences, like, it'll go okay, that's funny, and they'll give me the laugh. They just went, and I knew they would, in part because I watched your set, and your jokes were such that same tone of like, I'm going to hit you with this hilariously absurd, dark punchline, and you have to understand that this is not serious, that this is stand-up comedy, and that I don't actually want to be raped. You know what I mean? Like, that it was on its face is so absurd. But a lot of those people, I think, were like, you can't say that. I can't believe you would say that.
I had a
right, you're
cousin
not supposed to
Maybe
believe
there's like
it.
two ways, because I like to tell the same jokes to both sides of the aisle. But like one, I'll make it seem like I'm serious. The other, I'm making it seem like I'm ironic. You could probably do the same thing with that. Like, hey, I don't actually give a shit to this audience, and hey, I'm fucking taking it back for women or whatever. On the other,
I know. I gotta get better at leaning into it because I have such a natural dark sense. I mean, I grew up mostly with my dad, and him and I we joke about everything. It's just so open, and him and I are so mean and brutal to each other, but it's all a joke. And so I grew up with that, and I'm not used to the female sentiment, not the female, but just the sentiment of you can't, you can't.
So I guess I thought your mom like just passed. So she passed when you were pretty young.
No, she passed a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. But I grew up mostly with my dad. There's a lot of,
But she was not funny.
I know
that was
she was separated parents. Yeah.
Yeah. She lived in Scotland since I was 15.
Oh.
So she was over there, and so they were
Okay,
divorced.
pry
But
too
it doesn't
much,
even
yeah.
matter. No, I don't care. I'm an open book. I don't give a shit. I say I'm not afraid of getting raped on stage. There's not much I'm not afraid to
But
say.
don't you dare ask me where my mother is.
How dare you? Don't go there with me.
See if it runs in the family. Fuck.
My mom was very funny though. She was good at impressions. We used to go up to the drive-through at McDonald's. She'd do an Indian accent, and then
When it
just
was that back
order
then.
all the food
She already established this was a while ago.
a while ago, and then pull up to the drive-through and then just be her regular self. Hey, how's it going? And I'd be like, what?
I'm glad you said her regular self. I thought you were about to. She pretended to be Indian, but then you saw she was just regular.
Her regular self. Oh yeah, because being Indian is the weirdest thing you could do.
She was one of the good ones.
Very irregular to be Indian. But I don't know. Yeah, the other night it was kind of
it was fun.
I don't know.
It was
fun,
cool.
but it was definitely.
You were
learned
very. I liked to
stuff.
see the competitiveness because it really is ultimately the joke of the contest is it's a satire of the Phillies Funniest contest, and the winner is going to have the exact same benefit as the winner of Phillies Funniest, which is nothing. I mean, there really is no stake. You win a little bit of money for winning Fenris's Filthiest, and. I think I made more money performing on it this time as the feature than I did when I won. So there's very small prize money.
Yeah,
but I honestly liked that after the show, you were like, I forget what you said, but you were just so mad at yourself for like, I fumbled it. And it was like, it's funny because that's exactly what, like, even like we are cooler than that. Like, I mean, like we are like, we've gone through that so much in our years that's tamped down. But I think every comic has that. When you have a bad set internally, it just you get it lower and lower. Yeah, okay, yeah. Really, didn't feel a thing when you felt the lightsaber slip out of your grass?
No,
you didn't feel any sort of pain, no psychic pain there.
I've already said one of the judges was clearly transphobic, which makes me feel empowered that I, as a cis white man, got to be a victim of transphobia.
Sure, I'm sure you're talking about your
feel
Sue
like
comic.
I can do anything. Yeah,
I'm sure you're trying to hang your
was,
Sue comic struggle on yourself.
I was caught up in that. Yeah, in that bigot. So I was a victim of transphobia, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a great episode with Eppolite Laval. If you'd like to go back in the Weekday Comics library and see the woman Dave is now trying to adopt her struggle.
Well, no, I said it on stage.
You can see our interview with her before Dave tried to co-opt
I said it on
her
stage,
entire
and she
life.
thought it was. I was like, hey, I know I'm not Iron Comic anymore. I thought personally, me and Eppolite wrote a great set together, but unfortunately, one of the judges was transphobic. Laughs everywhere. Yeah.
It's good to know that, like, when I lost, you also called the entire process into question. I just said stop the steal.
I was rigging the system for years, and I was surprised it finally caught up with. But yeah. Neil's
anyway,
he's my good friend.
We're trying to paywall this conversation.
Yeah.
We have to stop this. This is where we're never going to get a Patreon off the ground if we can't even hide a thing we're going to give away for free in a couple of weeks.
What I love is that your podcast, we're just promoting it right now by talking about how bad we bomb.
Yes. Oh, 100%. I mean, that's one of the reasons that we're the Weekday Comics, is that for all of our years in it, we generally are doing comedy at open mics during the weekdays rather than on the weekends.
Tuesday
at
to
book shows.
Thursday crowd.
Yeah, you can catch us everywhere. You can sign up on a sheet to do comedy.
It's more exciting. It's more fun. You're out there. You're battling. I don't know.
It is kind of fun. It's fun to see. There's definitely, when I do entertain the like stupid fantasy of like being successful to the point where I wouldn't have to do open mics, there is part of me that's like, I think I would miss some of it. I'd forget the brutality of it, and I would start to miss it.
Like real shows, you got to talk to fucking people. After, at mics you get to hang out with comics,
right?
Like-minded people who are all just as delusional as you.
Yeah, and you don't have to talk to the people that you don't like. And it shows you generally still have to talk to the comics
like
that you
a
don't
fucking
like.
Walmart greeter or whatever.
That's what I'm bad at. I'm bad with this schmoozing aspect of comedy. I'm bad with kissing. I don't know if I.
That's 90% of it.
It's big.
Yeah, I think actual stage talent is such a small percentage of like. There's some people that are just so bad, but they fucking
schmooze.
It's
They're
like
good
they're
hangs.
the goddamn mayor, whatever fucking room they're in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I need more of that because I can't talk to someone I don't respect. I mean, but
Exactly. And
I-
if you're
and I-
trying,
and thank you. I know it's a struggle for you tonight. I appreciate
you're a
it.
stranger-
well, this is me
Trying-
trying. This is me trying.
We're the training wheels. If you're a stranger that wants to talk to me, I don't respect you. Yeah.
I know. I don't know. If I find someone funny, I really want to talk to them. I want to go out in the parking lot and, hey, man, will you, let's talk and blah, blah.
Right.
And I think you guys are really funny, so I obviously want to do your podcast. But it's just hard. I got to get better at the whole being presidential and whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
The political.
It's so weird, too, because it's so different everywhere. Like, the way people network is completely different. Like, if you go up to New York, they network completely differently than they do down here. You go out to L.A., it's way different out there. It's like, if you were to network the way that comedians in Los Angeles, open mic comedians, network with each other, here in Philly, they will call you a fucking fake douchebag, like West Coast, like you're trying too hard, stop, like nobody wants to fucking talk. In Philly, there's a much more of Philly is sort of has a more unfriendly vibe, even more so than New York. They're still unfriendly up there, but it still's kind of like, oh, I don't know this person. Maybe this person can help me some way. Maybe he's a producer I haven't met yet or something. I should at least be nice-ish to him. In Philly, there's like a vibe, although I do think there are many, many great, nice comics in Philly. There's still a vibe of like, if you were somebody, I'd know who you are, so why would I network with? Like, there's a lot of people have that kind of vibe. Like, you must be new or an out-of-towner because I don't know you, and therefore, since I don't know you, we don't really have to connect. I don't have to try and connect with you. Whereas that's not the case in, like I said, New York and LA, where people are like, maybe I don't know you, but for all I know, you could be somebody, so let's talk. And so I feel like it's much more honest out there in the bigger cities, but I don't know how it is in other smaller cities like Philly.
Boston. I started in Boston.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
How was that? How's that
terrible.
scene?
No,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I like Bill Burr. And they all kind of started in Boston. And I have a couple professors at my college that started comedy in Boston too. And they were all, oh, it's a place for comedy. And so I went to just an open mic, and it was after COVID, and there were like 30, 40 people in the lineup, and just. It seemed like everyone just hated me. There was just cliques, and no one came up. No one was welcoming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, a couple people were good, but my first day in Philly, I met Joe G. I met Otis. And they were all right off the get-go.
Well, that's outskirts more. I think in Philly.
It was in Philly, though.
Yeah, they still go
But they're
in
still,
now.
I consider them outskirtsy people.
We are really. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, I like Jesse's nodding very heartily in the background. Yeah. Yeah, also you and me are kind of like in a weird spot because we stopped going to a lot of like the big mics in the city.
They all
so
know
we don't
me,
really
yeah.
see. Right, they all know me. They know what I
We'll
can
get
do.
the important ones on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll remember we exist. But we don't go to those, so we don't see the fact that a lot like guys like Otis Timlin, and who was also on an episode of the show, or Joe G was on a couple weeks ago episode. They are now, doing it all the time in the city. So it's almost like a regime change.
So we got them before they were too good for us.
Listen, all I'll say
Before
is
they get swallowed up by the machine.
that's right. All I'll say is guys like them are making the city funner and more friendly because when I started comedy, I did it for I was similar to you. I did it once, then took months off, then tried it sporadically. Then I ended up moving to the West Coast and I really started it out there. But when I was doing it here, the vibe was not friendly at all.
Oh,
it was
really?
very it was decidedly super unfriendly to new comics, or at
Really?
least I felt that.
Well,
way.
maybe I just sucked back then in Boston. That's also something too. No one wants to talk to someone who's bad,
Right.
I guess. And when I was in Boston, I wasn't good. My first joke I did on stage was about a dream I had. No one wants to hear about a dream you had. Not even in a social environment. No one wants to hear about that.
Right.
But I don't know. Boston had a vibe of I've been to college. I'm an intellectual, so I'm smart, and I'm.
So this wasn't it Southie or whatever the fucking.
No.
Because isn't there the white? There's lots of white trash Boston too, though, right?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I wasn't around the white.
You were in the
Boston.
Harvard.
I've never
Harvard
actually been
comedy.
to Boston.
Yeah, it's a nice city. Never did anything with comedy.
I've
went to
there.
got
college
some
there.
good movies. I like The Departed. I think I've seen.
you go.
I got my Boston experience.
Okay.
The town.
Yeah, it was just
Great,
like college. The
Okay.
Departed.
Okay.
Resembled
Where
my
did you go to
college
school?
experience. Boston University.
Oh wow. Okay,
Okay.
so another
Yeah,
wildly overeducated stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get out of. You don't need this.
I was an English major though, so
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, never mind.
So
never
good,
mind. I take-
good
I-
degree, but
I
you
retract.
wasted it.
I retract.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's funny. I believe
Withdraw.
that English majors, that's the way that you can go to a good college or succeed in college and still fail enough to be a stand-up. Because so many stand-ups that do have degrees, it's communications or English.
Yeah,
It's one of those kind of slightly bullshit degrees.
You should have one of those jobs that you should be striking now or whatever.
Yeah, well, it's easier said than done. It turns out you really, instead of going to school, you need to work on being the nephew or second cousin of somebody who already writes for a show.
Is that all it takes?
Yeah.
Fucking
Or PA and
non-artistic family.
be a PA who looks good in yoga pants, and then they'll put you in the writer's room, and then you can
I
get
thought yoga
fast track.
pants were designed so everybody looks good. in them.
Well, you do, Dave. You,
I got to get a pair just to
Yeah.
test this theory.
yeah. Oh, what? Save it for the Patreon. That's a
That's
paywall.
true,
That's
yeah.
paywalled content right there. Well.
Oh, I thought you had a thought.
No, I
you
stopped.
were
I
gonna
stopped to
build
take
on-
a drink. I did. It was a very the pause had gravitas that didn't. I didn't need to bring it to the moment. I've ruined the gravitas right there. I literally have nothing to say. I'm explaining about how I have nothing to say. So
Cool.
dead air.
I'm
Hey, there we go.
meditating right now.
What's up?
Sarah? You went to Boston. You moved here to do not to do comedy, but you moved here and started comedy in earnest here in Philadelphia.
I did start in earnest in Boston. I just wasn't that great, and then I really liked the energy of Philly better. I don't know, and
Yeah.
I was getting I started at Comedy John was the first place I ever.
Oh yeah,
tried.
very very friendly room. I love those guys.
Yeah, really, and
I've
the
never been.
crowd
Is that a what's the
It's Trayvon
ethnic
and
room? What do you call urban ethnic?
We'll call it urban.
Which is the correct one?
I think urban. I don't think you can
I
call it
don't think-
ethnic. I think
I don't
think
think
my
any of
grandfather
these-
would call those guys ethnic. I don't think you're allowed to use that word.
ethnic. No, it's if
My grandfather
You
just
can't
called
say
anybody.
Oriental.
My grandfather would call Italians ethnic. So
well, then I can use it.
yeah, sure.
Sure, it depends on the person. I'm sure some black people like the word ethnic.
I don't know.
But that
I-
is the less racist thing to say, because why are we assuming they all want to be called?
Yeah, isn't that
Black
near
people.
Chinatown? I don't know. I don't know directions. Is it? Are we in Chinatown?
Are we
Where
right
am
now?
I?
No, we're by Temple. We're in North Philly,
I don't know.
the ethnic part.
I don't know neighborhood names. Yeah, this is the ethnic part.
Yes.
That's just Jesse's room.
Oh yeah, right.
Look around, Dave. Look around. Use your eyes, you son of a bitch.
I don't see color. Yeah. That's actually a bad. I hate the I don't see color.
Yeah,
thing.
well, it's just
It's the exact reason dogs are racist.
yeah, like a dog, you don't see color, but occasionally you hate a man in a hat. So
Yeah.
I had a bit of comedy. I was like, I'm sick of getting treated for the color of my skin. I'm sick of getting treated badly with the color of my skin. I'm so pale, and people tell me I'm tan. Never worked there. I was like, sick of being white or whatever. And I mean white. I mean, really white.
yeah,
Super white.
I
See
feel
my
you on
veins.
that one.
Sunburn.
I've tried to make really white. I've tried to make jokes about being extremely white, but that's another one. Dave's negotiating. He's having so much fun. He's negotiating more.
He's just so excited to see Barbie.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, hold off on doing the news jokes. For
That's
10
what. Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I knew you were calling him off. He was calling off the
I'm
news
waving
jokes.
him off. We need more of this.
Yes, I agree. Agreed. We're having so much fun. We're extending the conversation portion by 10 minutes.
So they didn't like self-loathing, self-racist loathing or whatever.
Self-racist
No,
loathing?
What is that? You said you hated your own whiteness, and it wasn't.
No, they like it when I go up there and acknowledge my whiteness, for sure. That's always the first thing you got to do in there. Acknowledge the white. I always get up there and do a bit. I say, like, hey, guys, I know what you guys are thinking. Who's this thick-ass white bitch, and how do I get her digits? And they love that. That always works there.
Yeah.
And then I go into my hating women stuff, and they like that too.
Oh, yeah,
But,
sure. Yeah.
But it's a good room. I did a show north of Scranton recently. It was my first time.
What
I really
room?
Drove. Just who knows
How many
what
rooms
room.
are there in Scranton?
It was.
I was gonna say, was it Pep's Pub? There aren't many.
It was nothing. It was just in the middle of. But it was called Forest City.
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
shit.
No, you wouldn't know
No
it.
idea.
You wouldn't know it. I bumped into a cuckoo clock on the way up to the stage. That's how you know it was in the middle. These people have been living in the town their whole life. It was like I was in Deliverance. I was driving out there. I was a little scared, and the people. That was a great time, but it was really kind of creepy. The guy who invited me on the show, apparently they had this mansion there, an Epstein-esque mansion that they were asked me to stay at, kind of overnight. And
Give massages or what?
I don't know. I didn't end up staying at the mansion because the guy who invited.
Did they mistake you for a 15-year-old?
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I've
get
gauged
told I
you
look like I'm
anywhere
12.
from 15 to 40. You could be one of those like Benjamin Button cases.
Oh my God, I've been told that before.
Because you
Akash
have,
Patel told me.
you kind of have like a.
Oh,
you
well, there
seem
you
like
go.
You
You're-
have like a '90s appreciation to you, kind of too. like all those like The Craft or whatever. I could see you being like a big fan of something like that.
The crap.
Okay,
that
like
witch
which-
movie.
He's showing his age a little. Yeah, you like a
I
witch.
know that I haven't
little.
seen it. It just doesn't fascinate me. I would have seen it if the plot.
It's,
fascinated me. Is it good?
yeah.
Is it any good?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's about like teen witches, like cool teen witches in school.
Okay. Do they sing at any point? I don't like that
Okay.
No, I don't think they
So
do.
closer to 15 then.
because I don't like musicals. That's why I can't see Barbie.
Oh, sure.
Is it a musical?
It's a music. They sing. They have full.
I mean,
full-length songs.
but that's just for an Oscars push. You have one song in, but it's not like a full-on music.
Yeah,
like
what
the rest
song
of the
did
movie
Nolan put into Oppenheimer?
Which song?
What song did Nolan put into Oppenheimer for the Oscars push?
It was
This place about to blow.
yes, sad mandolin.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Sad Mandolin #2.
Exactly.
gosh.
So Scranton.
Oh, so Scranton. Oh, at it. And
Sorry, we like
so
to get sidetracked. Here.
100%.
So-
And
it doesn't matter. But the guy who asked me to do the show, he told me that there was a hot tub at the mansion, right? And I'm like, okay. And then he texts me and in another text and says, "Don't forget your bathing suit." I was like, "There's no way I'm staying over," because you don't say, "Okay, there's a hot tub." I get it. I get the point. You don't clarify. You need your bathing suit. If
Right.
you tell me I'm going to do an open mic, don't forget your jokes. It's like, yeah, if I'm doing a mic, I'm not going to forget my jokes.
right, you brought up the clothes and like it's weird to even bring
It's
that
weird
up.
to bring
Yeah.
up. Don't forget your bathing suit. I'll give you some suggestions on Amazon or whatever. Like it was just here's a this one looks stringy or whatever. It's stringy. I don't
That's
describing cheese.
Could describe
as far as we know.
bikinis as well.
That's a description for a bathing
bikini.
suit. Yes, yeah.
It was a fun mic. The people there, it was like I was in the deep south, and the guy who ran the place was saying that they have an ice festival every year, an ice festival.
The one that deports Mexicans.
That would have been great. It was an ice festival. It was so good. But apparently, it's where they chop holes in the lake. They get ice out of the lake. They carve, and they build it into a bar. And they just have an ice bar, and then so I'm going back to Forest City, but there was some bitch after the show who was there who comes up to me.
Ice bar bitch.
And she comes up to me. Everyone was so nice and hometown like. She comes up to me. She says, "I thought you were so funny. You were funny. No one else laughed, but I did."
Those are always the worst compliments.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to be nice.
Yeah, they want to be like, "Oh, it was just you and me. You connected to me," but they end up insulting you.
Yeah, it's like saying, "Yeah, everyone, all my friends, they think you're like butt ugly. They think you're a 4, and then, but I think you're hot. Let's
right.
I think
but
you're
I
super
said you were hot.
sexy.
4
Yeah.
isn't butt ugly.
In female terms, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, but nobody wants to be a 4. You might as well be if you're told that you're a 4. Not many people. You have to already think that you're below a 4 to be happy with a 4. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be. I think most
4?
people think 6.
I think most people are in the.
Most people are
say
4 to
both.
6.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think you can get. I think you can
3,
climb at least 2
3
points
is
with
the ugliest
grooming.
you can be without something really tragic happening to cause
All
that.
right.
3 is just traditionally ass ugly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're straight ugly. Nothing you could do.
I mean,
you
I have the whole list.
GLY, you
I have
ain't
the
got
whole
no
list in my
alibi.
head.
One's like
Yeah.
you're a cyclops.
1 is born fucked. Like that's not cool.
Yeah.
You don't.
There's been burns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2
right.
is that, but like it came from something heroic, so you get like the hero hotness point.
Okay. Yeah.
And
You
then
get a cool scar. Like it's big,
Yeah.
but it's still kind of cool.
it,
Yeah.
it's made you ugly and unfuckable, but like you get a point.
But you
'Cause-
could have a Tom Hanks
Yeah.
movie about you or something.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Just 3 is normal born, just unfortunate and all
Yeah.
part. Yeah, most people are 4 to 6
Commonly
range.
ugly. I
Yeah.
think most people are 4 to 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think can personality bump you up a point,
No.
or is it just pure?
I disagree. I think
You can judge that on a. You can have an overall score, so the personality can get its own 1 through 10.
Okay.
That's true.
And
It
then
is
overall,
just a
but your
visual.
looks are just your looks.
You're just gonna rank. You want like more ranks on
because
ranks.
and I don't want the personality in mind because
Yeah,
I think
'cause
that would
it's gonna
drag me
drive you
too.
down.
That
Yeah,
would make
right.
me. Yeah, I have my personality was born with a disfigurement.
I'm the opposite. I'm trying to get to the top of the 3 to 6 range with my personality. The personality's keeping me on the
I
ceiling.
was
there.
like I peaked at a 6.5. I'm a 4 now, so I didn't develop a personality until later, and you could tell that it's
my looks and my
it's,
I'm the
it's
same
manufactured.
way. My looks and my personality definitely one grew as the other faded to compensate.
Yeah.
It's like when you start to go blind and you can smell things better.
That's
It's
true,
very
yeah.
similar to that.
Yeah, this
And it's
just
about as
being funny
useful.
on stage. That's just a byproduct of like shit, crow's foot.
Yeah. And I got to say, the comparison works because being hot is about as useful as seeing, and being funny is about as useful as smelling. So you definitely need
Something
to do one
stinks.
more.
No,
Yeah. This metaphor.
No, just talking about most comedy.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I have a really cringy comedy story that I have to share. It was so fucking funny. So I went to see Mark Normand. He was performing in Lancaster yesterday and 2 days ago. And I went to see The Late Show last night. My good friend Jared McCallay was performing. We got to have him on sometime. Good, really funny guy from Lancaster. But someone, not Jared, but somebody was telling me that a comic, I don't know if he's from that scene, but went and bought Normand these chips that they're everywhere in Wawa's, but they're from New Orleans. They're called like Zappos or something.
Yeah, I see 'em.
They're really good, actually. He bought Normand a bag of chips, put it down with a Post-it note that said, "Hey, welcome to Lancaster. I just thought you would really like a taste of home," right? And then on a second Post-it was like, and since you're in town, I have a joke that I really think would be perfect for you. Here it is. And it was a joke that whoever this comic was, and again, I didn't even get the comic's name, so I'm not being coy here, wrote like, here's the joke I think you, Mark Normand, should tell. Here's some chips.
Yeah, one of our best joke writers out there.
Yeah, exactly. One of the smartest, the closest you can be to famous in this day and age with the stand-up comedy, unless you were already famous for being like Bill Burr or whatever. Yeah, here's a joke.
I love that. Was like when I was 5 years old. I mailed Lindsay Lohan a letter because I was a fan of hers, and I put $1 in it.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't
And
know her
that's
address.
the first dollar she ever rolled up to snort cocaine.
Here's a 5-year-old's dollar. I would be honored. I would have been honored,
Yeah.
even at that age. But they mailed it back because I didn't know her address. I just said
you were
Lindsay
probably
Lohan.
5 around the time that we got that first coot shot of her getting out of the limo, right?
That's
Well,
why
that
I
was-
sent it.
If you look closely, she's pulling $1 out of an envelope while she's getting out of the
Yeah.
car. She's so distracted.
You're a mean girl. You're a bitch for doing that.
You derailed that lovely young woman's career.
She was going
she-
places.
she hadn't had that $1, then she would have been fine.
So did she write back?
No, I got it mailed back to me. I didn't know her address. I just said Lindsay Lohan, and then sent it because I was an idiot.
Yeah.
It was 5.
You got to learn. You actually have to just go to
Yeah.
where you think Lindsay Lohan is and drop the letter
There
off.
was still
Trust me.
regular mail when you were still 5?
There's still
Indeed.
regular mail
no, there
now.
isn't. Don't even.
Okay.
All right.
I am Benjamin Button. I'm 40 years old. You guys don't know. I still haven't told you my age. I'm
That is
40.
true.
It's impolite to ask.
I want to leave it. I want to leave it a mystery. Our
Yeah.
viewers
Yes.
will never know.
Leave it to the viewers.
That's right. It's more paywall content for a Patreon. we don't have.
Walked into a bar. The bartender yelled across the room. He said, "That's a child."
Yes.
Right when I walked in.
Follow our OnlyFans. We'll be giving away her age. All right, it's time for the news.
All right.
Cue up.
We're talking news. We're talking news. Talking news. We're here to shoot the shit and talk the news. All right. Hey, here we are. We're back. And I'm actually going to do my job this time, the part of the podcast I'm supposed to do. This is the news. As the audience probably knows, Sarah, you're just learning. We're about to read about 15 news stories each. We do not know what each other wrote. I have not heard any of the awful jokes that Dave is about to tell, the nasty
I
things
think
he's going
only
to say.
one of them is racist this week.
Well, okay, you're definitely, it's a dip for you, definitely, but some misogyny maybe, probably, if I had to guess.
Too racist.
There you go. If Dave and I write a joke on the same news story, we have what's called a joke off, and you get to be the judge. You just pick the one you like best.
Okay.
And then the other one kind of like does a little slam dunk thing in the other one's face, and it's great.
I think I'm up 1 again.
And I think we're tied.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is. You want to go first?
Sure. At least one person was treated for heat-related discomfort in a plane at a Las Vegas airport. He was told the side effects include dehydration, dizziness, and being called gay by his friends for not getting syphilis in Vegas like a real man.
I like it. There's so many heat. I was worried. I was like, we're going to have multiple joke-offs about the heat. But I
I
didn't.
think that's all I got.
Yeah, and I didn't do the plane. So no joke-off here, but I did. We'll get to it.
Can't wait.
Jason Aldean stirs controversy with his new song, Try That in a Small Town. And while we're on the subject, the top 3 things you can try in most small towns are Applebee's, Olive Garden, and French kissing your second cousin.
Nice. Well, I got to use that one because that'll get views.
Yeah, I'm trying to be topical. That's why I almost always lead with politics. I did Jason Aldean this time because it's what people are talking about, Dave.
We got called a soy boy last week. Let's go for
hell
2
yeah, we
weeks
did.
in a
Let's get
row.
called a cuck. I want to be called a cuck at some point.
Who called you a soy boy?
Somebody that didn't
The
like
internet.
Yeah,
Really?
the internet
That's so
doesn't like
exciting.
it when
I
you
know.
a
I've
badge
been
of
called a
honor.
Nazi and a soy boy now. I feel
Yeah.
I'm so multifaceted.
Yeah.
Representative Lauren Boebert threw away a pin that honored a Uvalde victim. But on the plus side, her throwing it out 2 seconds after it was handed to her makes it the quickest response time, something Uvalde related yet.
I'm almost glad I tried so hard to write a joke about this. Mine was very similar, but it was something to the degree of like, this was, she displayed like the second best aim of anyone involved. Yeah, I went like too dark and I was like, I can't do it. But it was exact.
Now it's out there.
Same exact formula as yours, though. Same joke, just I went the darker route. I didn't tell it. I didn't even write it. Okay.
It's funnier.
Thank you.
But wronger.
I couldn't. I just couldn't get the wording. It wasn't that I had a strike of conscience or something. I just couldn't get the wording.
This isn't bar 13. You can do that kind
I
of
know.
joke.
I can do whatever I want. We don't have careers. That's why we do this live.
We have no sponsors to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Florida schools will begin teaching how slavery brought personal benefit to black people. Beginning with the TV series Roots, a story about a kindly old white gentleman who teaches a young crippled immigrant, Kunta Kinte, the ins and outs of small business farming.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
All right, that was okay, never mind.
It wasn't pro-slavery. It was deftly mocking.
Yes, I get it. I'm saying this joke's kind of racist.
Oh.
Baltimore station backpedals after biased report on black kids swimming in a closed pool. And in the end, all they did by calling it a black problem was bringing attention to how small Baltimore's Mexican population is.
Is that true? Does Baltimore have a small Mexican
I
population?
looked it up. It was like 1 point.
Have you seen The Wire?
Something. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. They do not have a lot of Mexicans in The Wire. Marjorie Taylor Greene may have accidentally sent Hunter Biden's nude pictures to a bunch of minors. Which makes sense, because who better to appreciate a huge tool that can penetrate a mile into the earth than a bunch of minors?
Hey. Punnage.
Thank you. And a dick joke all in one.
Boosh. What the hell? Okay, I think I fucked up. Let's see. In-N-Out Burger in 5 states bans employees from wearing masks. Not to be outdone, Burger King came out and said, "That's nothing. We threw out our employees must-wash hands sign years ago."
Yeah. On the subject of Marjorie Taylor Greene roasted for claiming prayer can tackle child sex trafficking. Yeah, which means between global sex trafficking and the power of prayer, I guess it's all a game about who can do it harder.
Megyn Kelly gushes over Trump, says beef is under the bridge. Trump welcomed the new alliance with the former Fox News correspondent by saying, "About time that chick finally got off her period."
That's for you're going to get called a soy boy for that one. Maybe even a cuck. All right. Polls show trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney has a higher favorability rating than Ron DeSantis. Turns out people won't even buy DeSantis merchandise to shoot it with an AK-47.
All right. Wife of Gilgo Beach serial murder suspect files for divorce. She somehow didn't see it as romantic that even though he took those other women to the beach, she's the only one he brought back.
What, Gilgo?
Is that what it's pronounced?
I don't know. I've never. It's just it was a weird word.
Gilgo?
I didn't even see this
Gilgo?
story.
I don't
missed
fucking
it.
know.
Anyway, it's a good word.
It's a
Gilgo.
silly name.
Yeah, it is a silly
Gilgo
name.
Baggins.
Yeah, that's on the Gilgo.
Like, yeah, if some guy, hey, I'm the Gilgo Beach serial murderer, I'd be like,
yeah,
that's stupid.
Drive him to Slaughter Beach or somewhere cool.
Have some dignity.
Yeah.
Fucking murder people in a cooler named
It's
place.
a beach. A couple miles up, there's going to be a
Yeah.
better named beach. Anyway,
Yeah.
you
But
just
it's
kill
the
people.
irony. It's the irony that's so dark.
Oh, yeah, that I guess that's
Do it
true.
more inland.
That's why people kill kids, because it's like, oh, it's so bad. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah. Agreed. It's a confession.
But they get cooler names.
Yeah. All right. President Biden will establish a national monument to Emmett Till, the black teen lynched in Mississippi. Critics of the move say they swear the monument just winked at them. You see, that's why they killed Emmett Till. Because a woman lied and said he whistled at her, and then they killed
Towing
him.
that line. I don't know why I kept this one. Jury awards family $800,000 in Chicken McNuggets burn case. Spokesperson for McDonald's said, "That's small fries compared to what we'll pay them once they find out we've been serving them Grimace's jizz."
I like that. I've got it. This is a joke off.
Oh,
I actually,
Christ, the
how could I
one
pass
fucking
up?
didn't
How could I
replace.
pass up chicken fetish? Trust me, this one's, you might have me on this one. Jury awards family $800,000 in Chicken McNugget Burns case. No word if the increased notoriety has made money for renowned 1950s blues musician Chicken McNugget Burns.
They're both dumb.
Yeah, that was the
one?
dumbest joke. I had
Yeah.
it tucked all the way in the back. It shouldn't be told this high up on the list, but it's the joke off joke.
All right, who?
Oh, I
Now
get
you
to
get to be the
choose.
judge. No matter how bad the jokes are, you
Yeah.
still have to decide.
Oh, Jesus.
One of us gets a point for whatever we just fucking throw out there.
Garbage jokes that we just wrote about this Chicken McNugget case.
I like them both. All right.
All right, fine. Now you're up
Boosh.
one.
Now I'm up one.
That was the wrong choice if you like them both. No, just
Hey.
kidding. The points don't matter. We don't do
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Okay.
they matter.
No, now that I'm losing, they do not.
Are you a sports fan at all?
No.
Okay, then here's a joke that I'll just. It's a waste. No. I'm just- Father unleashes on Patrick Mahomes after son denied autograph. Awkward exchange ensues. The kid wanted to grow up to be just like Patrick too, and by having an annoying entitled family member, he's now one step closer.
It's not a joke off, but I wrote a sports joke this week too. Dave.
Sweet.
In fact, right before the podcast, I wrote this one. Bronny James, son of LeBron James, suffers cardiac arrest at USC basketball practice. But that's a James for you. All the talent in the world when he puts his heart into it.
Jesus. Oh, man. Another sports one, but for everybody. NFL coach comes out as first openly gay male coach in the league. It wasn't that shocking to the players though, because all his plays were drawn up with X's and O's.
Yeah, all right. I love your act. Whatever you do the act out, so you know you're going to give me. Who was that? I've heard this
He's
mentioned.
on the Jaguars. It was like an assistant.
Oh, he's an assistant coach?
Yeah.
Okay. I was because it's Sirianni. I think Sirianni's good. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be funny, but no.
Coach, bro.
Yeah, bro, I'm gay, bro. Anyway, Judeo-Christian roots will ensure military artificial intelligence is used ethically, says General. These robots will not exterminate humanity. They just might nail some of you to crucifixes. Honestly, Dave, I do have a riff on this one, too. I prefer the New Testament killbots.
There you go. I'd watch that movie. As long as Mel Gibson has something to do with it. DOJ will sue Texas over Governor Abbott's floating wall razor wires along the Rio Grande. Plus, they said it ruins the spirit of catching Mexicans with a good old-fashioned fishing rod. That was another one I
But you
wanted
got
to
the
replace
image.
in time, but I just didn't.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
I like the imagery.
image.
Oh,
Some of our
yeah.
jokes, they're less good jokes and better just a mental picture.
Put together a quick flash cartoon of catching Mexicans with fishing poles.
come on, Jamie, put it together.
Vladimir Putin signs law banning gender changes in Russia. Putin said, if you're a strong man and you want to look like a little dumb bitch, you have to do what I did and invade Ukraine.
Oh, damn it, another sports joke. I think this will be fun for the whole family. NFL free agent Dalvin Cook offered ex-girlfriend $1 million to clear him of abuse allegations. In a move that just made the earning potential for being punched by an NFL running back higher than being an NFL running back.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was really funny. Pretty good. I wish I had another sports one. I don't think I do. Here's one. Italy starts removing lesbian moms from children's birth certificates. Ironically, using scissors.
Nice. RFK Jr.'s candidacy called an embarrassment by JFK's grandson, to which RFK Jr. responded, "No, what's embarrassing is that this guy doesn't even remember what usually happens when you try to be one of the good Kennedys."
Yeah. Malaysia halts music festival after same-sex kiss by UK band The 1975. A Malay official said the 1975 does not represent Malaysia, as we are currently still in about the 1890s.
fun. I was looking at that one. I couldn't come up with anything, no. Oh, man, more sports. Sorry, sportsy week.
I've gotten them so far.
That's true. You've been keeping up well.
I haven't gotten a single one. Don't understand. Do not
Florida A&M coach suspends football activities after unauthorized music video shot inside locker room. He also needs to investigate if any of his athletes falsified their birth certificates, as no college-age kid should have any idea what a music video is.
Yeah.
There's my age show.
Yeah, but you're right. Barbenheimer is upon us. Barbie opens to $155 million debut. Oppenheimer has $80 million debut. And personally, I haven't seen a gigantic bomb alongside so many plastic people since the time Dave Primiano did comedy for a bachelorette party.
Hell yeah. I stopped the comedy and turned it into a dancing bear party, first of all. But if you know, you know.
Yeah, you got to go deep onto Reddit to find those dancing bear parties, though.
That's my kink. All right, this isn't a joke off, but it is Oppenheimer related. A sex scene in Oppenheimer becomes the latest target in India's Hindu nationalists. The movie's producers responded to this by saying, can't say it was the ones we expected, but we knew releasing this movie was going to upset some people in Asia.
I like it.
Thank you.
Hundreds of dead, poisoned animals are covering California's beaches. But to be fair, that's how Californians refer to anyone over 200 pounds.
And now we know why you moved.
Hey, I was only 180 pounds when I was in LA, or as they call it, fat as fuck.
Sorry, that whole exchange is going on the...
Please, clip it out. Clip it out. What else do we pay Neil to do?
All right, my last one. Miami-Dade police chief survives after shooting himself, Florida official says. His fellow officers are happy that he'll pull through, but upset with him for not taking advantage of being in his body cam's blind spot and not going for the kill shot. I added an extra word in there, but you get the gist.
I got
it. Yeah.
And this will be my last one. 26-year-old man who posed as Lincoln High School student accused of sex crimes.
What?
Yeah, which is right? Which is a shame because the media never writes a story about the 26-year-olds who pose as high school students because they love to learn.
Okay, that's it for the news.
There we
That
go.
was great.
We did it. Thank you. Thank you for coming on this ride with us.
No, thank you for having me.
And thank
It's
you
great.
for choosing well.
Yeah. And man, this felt good because I got to say, last week's episode was great, but we were very on topic from start to finish. And I'm glad we didn't stay
That's
on a
impossible
single
with me.
topic. You had to reap you were the beneficiary, we'll say, of the fact that we were ADDing out this episode. But I liked it.
That's, yeah.
And I was womaning out. I was
Yeah.
not staying
true.
on top. I was derailing.
I tell people in my massive wisdom of podcast experience that, hey, it's good to have a plan going in, but if you stick to it the whole time, that podcast is going to suck.
That's true. That's true. But this podcast was fucking great, and I feel
loved every
pretty
second of
hyped up. You want to do our plugs? What do you got
What do you
going on,
got
Sarah?
coming up? What do you got? This is live, so yeah, you don't like what's coming up.
I have a show on Friday.
Sweet.
At
Where?
the Waynebrook Inn.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Fenrir. That's
very
a Fenrir
exciting
show as
Fenrir
well. Yeah,
show.
very very good show.
Surprised I haven't been kicked off of it for the abysmal performance on Saturday.
Nah.
You might you could stab him and not get kicked off of one of these shows.
Yeah.
Try it.
No, Waynebrook's a good room. You're gonna kill him.
No, I'm excited. I'm very excited for that. Yeah, that's about it for now. I think. I don't know.
Very cool. Do you have an Insta or any social media that our listeners can follow you on?
on Instagram?
Yours isn't like a comedy because like we like try to like find comedy pictures to put in like the graphic for the show, and your shit looks all Martha's Vineyardy or whatnot.
I know. Well, I I just haven't converted yet. I want to be good before I put any videos up, and I think I'm just too anxious. I think I'll take 5 years of doing this to post a video up that I think's acceptable. But yes, Sarah Craig on Instagram, Sarah Alexandra with 2 X's for the other one is.
Okay.
You can see my me in high school being sexy. So if you're a pervert, go follow me on Instagram.
If you're
which I'm sure most of your
of our audience.
Yeah, you have just invited as a joke the worst thing that's ever happened to you. No. Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, I agree. We just friended each other on social media, and I was like, having seen your comedy, and then you very much still haven't transitioned into comedian social media page. So it is like pictures of you and your friends. It's like Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's
It's very
Vineyard-y.
sweet. It's
I
very
made up
like really like, oh, this is nice. It's like, and then like to be like, oh,
Put
right.
that as a potential title. Martha's Vineyard-y.
Martha's Vineyard-y. Yeah, but yeah, so it's very funny to be like, oh, this is the very beginning of a comedian's journey. But the nonsense that your social media accounts will be in like 4 years will blow your mind.
Nonsense. That looked like her enjoying life. It's going to go way down.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Comedy
It's,
page.
it's like it looks like a life well lived right now, but we'll see what happens in
Here's
5
her
years.
sleeping in the Raven Lounge bathroom. Aspen, Raven's Lounge bathroom.
It's great. Speaking of sleeping in open mic bathrooms, what do you got going on, Jesse?
I got nothing. I'm working like a dog. So you'll see me at work.
Okay, you can catch Jesse at the office.
What do you got?
What do I have coming up? Well, I mean, you and me have a huge show coming up. We have the live recording of the Weekday Comics podcast, our only pre-recorded live show.
Yeah.
We're live all the time in the studio. We're going to record this thing live on Saturday and then save it for like 3 weeks and then release it when I have a show and
August
you want to go see a
29th,
movie.
Some shit. Yeah.
We're giving ourselves the night off, and
I'll still write the news jokes. I'll do them on a stage. I'll still post.
Okay,
shit.
you want to do that? I'll do the
it
same
at Bar
thing.
13 the
yeah.
next
All
night.
right. Why don't we do that? We'll go out to Bar 13.
We'll sign up
we'll
as
do
a
the
tandem
news.
and ask for 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's really try to lean on him. We'll be like, we don't want to sign up. Just put us up. We'll big time him.
I buy him a drink. He gives me a spot.
Don't give our
always
secrets
worked
out.
well.
Don't put our secrets out on the air.
No,
all you have to do is
I'm also funny enough to go up at
right,
the spot that I
that
want.
we literally bribe our way onto that list.
Yeah.
But yes, very cool. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be really fun. Do I have anything else? No, all of my we're okay. I do want to clarify. Dave and I. So the way that we're doing it on Saturday is there is a show starting at 7:00 p.m. On that show will be Jared McCalley, who I brought up. He just opened for Mark Norman.
Oh.
Very funny.
Wait,
yeah, there was
okay. He's
there
on
have been audibles called that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay,
you've been
yeah, I
apprised
don't know shit.
of. Jared McCalley will be hosting.
Okay, not Connor McCrone.
No, Connor dropped, so now it's
Okay.
Jared. Tyler Weigert, really funny comic out of Lancaster, will be on. Eppolite Laval will be.
Yeah, I know about it. Why are we
featuring.
adding so many? I want more time. Damn it.
We're still
No,
going to do the same amount of time. Nothing's changed. And then you and I are co-headlining, although I'm going on last.
Oh, son of a bitch! I was hoping for like a rock paper scissors there. You've been fucking dealing behind my back. I'm gonna fucking kill so hard.
Nah,
You're
it's
gonna
fine. You're
just
gonna-
stand there for 20 minutes with your dick in your
You just
hand.
get them hot.
Yeah.
You just get them hot for me. But so if you want to see Dave and I perform our sets, you can do that by coming to the Tuned Up Brewery in Spring City, Pennsylvania, Saturday at 7. If you want to come and watch the live recording of the podcast, or if you're a comedian, I was going to say a comedian that we like, but we don't really need to like you for this one. Just come out to the show. We'll try to get every comic on. We'll talk to them for a little bit. We're going to have a fun like mini interviews
If
and
you're
stuff.
not the type of person, because of be it your personality or your hygiene, that we can't invite to someone's house, this is the time for you to appear on our podcast.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
So we are. So come on out, have a good time with us.
targeted.
Yeah.
The hygiene one definitely.
The Davos.
the off-putting personality describes a whole.
Could be a lot of
but
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hygiene one's pretty
That's a double whammy.
So please come out to the show, especially to watch if you're a fan, because it's going to be a really fun night. Sarah, if you're free on Saturday, come on out. We'll get you up. We'll say hi.
You've seen my Instagram. I'm posting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I know Martha's Vineyard.
I assume you had
You
an
need a
orchard.
nice picture of you drinking a craft beer
Yeah.
for your Instagram.
Yeah, I assume you were just going to be at an orchard or something. So
Eating a
Apple
Bavarian
picking with
pretzel.
a group of women.
yeah, but coming to a open mic essentially on an open mic podcast recording on a Saturday night will be a good step to ruining your life. So maybe we'll see you there.
Okay.
What do you have going other than?
Okay, I
Mark?
was on the almost 100% podcast that's going to be, I did it last night, but it'll be dropping on Thursday.
Okay. That's Troy's.
Yeah, 2-hour conversation. I think 6 minutes of it are usable.
So much like our podcast.
Yeah. No, it was a fun time. I don't normally, if I'm talking one-on-one to a person, I'm looking for an exit 30 seconds later. Yeah. And yeah, this is
even me after the camera.
That's why I need
rolling,
a third. Yeah, I need a definite third in the room at all times. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. Mom, don't listen. I think I went a little too far talking family stuff. Friday, I will be at the Milton Theater in Delaware with Keith Purnell, Missy, and Jeremy Hall.
Cool.
Yeah, I got a hotel room that night.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Bringing back some
yeah,
bitches.
but of course we had bitches. No, I just want a fucking good night's sleep with air conditioning.
Dave's just in it for the turn down service.
Yeah, and then the live show. Which is the reason I can't kill myself in that hotel room. Like the celebrity I think I am.
I recently did. Okay, now you're forcing me to tell the story. I recently did a show and I got a hotel room, and there was fire damage all over the hotel. And I'd been at the hotel before, and I asked the booker. I was like, "What's the deal? What happened?" Because I hadn't been there in a long time. And the booker told me like, "Oh, some guy went to the local casino. He lost his shirt. Went back to his room, decided to set himself on fire to kill himself, set himself on fire, set the sprinklers off. The sprinklers saved him. Now he was like in the hospital, and they were like, oh yeah, and now he has to pay for like a whole new wall on this like 8-story hotel. I was like, what a swing. Like that guy was ready to leave.
Because he lost his shirt.
He lost a lot of money.
Okay, I actually, the way you said it, I was like, I know that's a term, but it made it sound like he actually lost his shirt.
He lost like all of his money.
I was imagining him shirtless killing himself.
I'm sure he was. Well, I don't know.
They
if you're going to burn
need to
yourself
stop
alive.
calling them sprinklers, though. Because those things don't sprinkle.
They don't sprinkle.
My fucking room in college got flooded because the diagonally above me, it had 3 feet of water. That's not a fucking sprinkling.
Yeah.
Best week of college, though. I actually got my own shower because I got a hotel room for
Nice.
fucking 2 weeks.
Nice.
But,
and you didn't succeed on setting yourself on fire, which is probably
that was the guy
positive.
upstairs.
Okay.
His nickname, I don't know his real name. His nickname was Fuck, and I heard he's dead now.
I think that's the tagline for tonight's episode. All right.
His name was Fuck, and
He's dead now. It sounds like a Cormac McCarthy short story or something. Like No Country for Old Men, the sequel. His name is Fuck, and he's dead now. All right. Well, thank you, Fuck, wherever you are. Mwah, rest in
peace to all the fucks.
To Fuck. And good night, everybody. Thank you for listening. That's the show. Well, there we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was we fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of DropTent Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to DropTent.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see DropTent on. We appreciate it. Go to DropTent.com now.
This has been a DropTent Media production.